what's up? So let's learn the first Marty Friedman solo to Holy Wars. Okay, so in my opinion, it's always a good idea to know what you're soloing over so you can understand a little bit better what's going on. And it also helps you to be able to recreate the same kind of sound when you're doing your own solos. So anyway, the riff, the very simplified version of the riff is just G major chord and a B flat major chord. Okay, so that's more or less the chords that we're jamming over. The riff is actually a lot cooler than that, but that's what we need to know. Okay, so to start the solo off, we got this. Okay, so we're starting off over the G chord. We're going to be using our E major chord shape form, which is our major bar chord starting on the low E string. So that's the arpeggio form that we're using at the beginning, and then it's also using our C major chord form. So for a G, that would be starting it up on the 10th fret. Okay, so this solo starts off with hitting those as eighth notes, bop, bop, and then twice as fast we're going to skip to the D string and up to that C major chord form. Okay, so that's starting off with the 9th fret, low E string. I'm sorry, the 9th fret. The 7th fret of the low E string, and then the 5th fret of the A string, skipping down to the D string on the 9th fret, and we should be doing 9, 7 on the G, 8 on the B, 7 on the high E, and then 10 with a pull off. And then go back down to, and we're going to go back all the way down to the D string and then back up. Okay. Okay, and that's all over our G major chord. So now the riff is changing to a B flat major. So now we're going to go up that 10th fret, and now we're looking at that E major chord form shape starting on the 6th fret. So this would be the highest note, or aka the third of the chord arpeggio. So it should be going from 10 down to 6. So after that 10, 6, and then we just jump up. Now we're in the position of that C chord shape. That's to be starting up on our 13th fret. So all that. Okay. And then from there, we're going to go up to the A string, and we're going to go down that whole C major arpeggio chord shape. Okay. When we get to there, this is on the recording. It gets a little blurry, and the notes are just like being squeezed in, a bunch of really fast notes being squeezed in, so it's really hard to hear exactly what's going on. This is the best way I can hear it, but so I do a. Okay, so that is doing 13 down to 10. So I'm doing a 13 and 10, 13, 10, hammer on pull off. So that was the 13th of the B string. Okay, and then we'll do that again, but a little shortened. Okay, and then lastly, so I think this in 3 parts. The first part, the second part, and the third part. And that's all those notes being squeezed in. Okay, and then we got one more note that's over that B flat major, and that is a B flat major, or B flat major. It's a B flat note way up on our 18th fret of our high string. Okay, And now we're going to go into the second section of the solo. Now starting over the second time we do our G chord. So this is that E major chord form again, but now starting up on the 15th fret. And that would be the highest note on our high string. Okay, so that was the last note of the B flat, hitting the note for the G. So then we're going to the root of it, so that's the 15th fret of the high E string. And then we'll do 15th fret of the B, and then we'll do 17th fret, and we're going to hit that and do a half bend. So what we're really doing here is we're turning the G chord into a dominant 7th chord. So that's your dominant 7 pentatonic. Super cool scale anyway, but okay, so we're bending into that 7th note, scale degree 7 right there. So we're gonna hold that one for a sec, and then go back to the 15th fret of the B. Okay, so we don't really do much over that second G chord. All we just do is that's it, and then the G chord is changing over to a B flat major where we hit, and that is what, our 20th fret. So we're doing a full bend. And you can kind of let it go a little bit as you're going to hit it 3 times. And you can hear I'm not just holding it and bent and plucking, I'm actually holding it, releasing it a tiny bit, and then rebending. Okay, so that whole spot should sound something like this. Okay, and the whole thing. Okay, and then moving on. So up here, this is, in my opinion, very unique. I've never learned a solo where this happens, but we're going to be going up on our 24th fret. If you don't have 24 frets, then I wouldn't even try to attempt this, and do it an octave lower down here. Do it down there on your 15th fret. So anyway, what we're doing is we're hitting our 24th fret, and we're going to do a 1.5 bend. So we're bending this E note to sound like a G note. So it's an octave higher of our 15th fret. So in essence, we're doing way up here, we're doing a bend to make it sound like this. So 1.5 bend, and then we're turning that 1.5 bend into just a half bend. Not releasing it, just super cool, but hard. You gotta get a good grip before before you go for that bend, because you're gonna need it. All right, so that second bend is I'm not releasing it all the way back down. I'm stopping it where it'd be at a half. So you gotta know your bends really well as well. Yes. Okay. So yeah, so it should be sounding like you're doing those notes, but way up here. Okay, and then this is almost the end here. So I got a couple different fingerings for this part for you. I believe he's doing it more like this, either that or that fingering. But you could also do it that way, which is, in my opinion, that's the easiest way to visualize it. But it doesn't sound, the attack of the picking doesn't sound the same as on the recording. So I don't think he's doing it that way. So we'll be up on our 22nd fret. That last way, the easiest way to visualize is going 22 to 18 on the high E, and then also on the B string. Okay, then you're just going to do that little section in octaves. So now you should be going to the 19th fret, 1915 of the G, 1915 of the D, And then you're going to start the octave of that again, but cut it short. So 17 to 13 of the A string. And that'll be the whole thing. Okay. Here is the other way of doing it, where you're doing, starts off the same, 22 to 18. And then slide, or move your, no, don't slide, but then 17, 18 of your B, 19 of your G. Okay, and then we're going to take the last half of that first way I showed you. Oops. Okay. So that's, yeah, 22, 18, 17. B string, just 18. G string, 19, 15. D string, 19, 15. And A string, 17, 13. And then the third way of doing it is doing this and then doing an octave of that little section. And then all three ways end the same with 17 and 13. So that starts off the same as that second way. So then instead of going to the D string, we're going to slide back one more, doing exactly what we just did up there. Okay, so there's three different ways. I would pick whatever way works best for you. And then, yeah, after that, so we're just going up a G minor scale, starting on our D string on the 5th fret. We're doing this in octaves. So you should have 5th fret of your D string and 8th fret of your B string. And then 2 frets higher, so 7 and 10. 1 fret higher, 8 and 11. And then the last one is 10 and 13. Okay, and then this is the last lick. So we're going to be up here on our 15th and 18th fret. This is should be the position of our G minor pentatonic. So the lick is going to start up on our 18th fret of our G string. Okay, so that's the first part of it. So that should be an 18 of your G string, and then on your B string, 15, 18, 15. So you're doing that twice. And then to finish it, 18, 15 of your G string. Okay, so that is that lick. And the way I pick this is I do economy picking for this, where I'm going down, down, up. So down, down, up, pull off, down, down, up, pull off, down, up. Okay. Okay, so that is the first part of this little fast part up here. The second part of it is starting off just the same. And this time, doing that. So we're doing 18 on the G string to 15, 18, 15 of the B string, and then back to 18 of the G string. Then we're going to go back up to 15 of the B, and then back to the G again, and do a pull off from 18 to 15. And then the end of this one is 17 of our D string, 17 of the G string, and then 15 of the G string. Okay, so this whole thing together and then you finish all that off with this mega bend. And that is on the 18th fret of your high E string. And this bend is, it's a big bend. So it should be the equivalent of doing 2 whole steps. So you want to try to get the note of the 22nd fret if you can. My guitar here, or all of our guitars that have floating bridges, it makes it even more challenging and makes it harder, because as you bend the string, it detunes out all the strings. So that's, I don't know if you ever noticed the case where if I was to hit a note on the B string and then start bending my G string, it starts making everything else go lower because it's pulling the bridge this way, and shortening by probably that much, but shortening the distance between the bridge and the nut. And then if you know your physics, the shorter the string or the looser the string, the lower the tone, and the longer the string or the tighter the string, the higher, and pitch, not tone, the pitch. Anyway, so what was I even talking about? So this bend. So yeah, so you just want to try to bend it to try to get that note right there. Yeah, that's about. Yeah, it's a really hard one. So, but he also he just busts that out like it's no big deal. Anyway, that's why Marty Friedman is Marty Friedman, and we are us, the rest of us. So okay, so to demonstrate all that nice and slow from the part with the octaves, you'd have this. And that be the end of this solo. So I hope you enjoyed learning this solo with me, and you probably gotta love the solo. This is awesome. All of Marty Friedman's solos on Rust in Peace are the best, if you ask me. But thanks for watching the video. Thanks for learning with me, and I hope to see you again on our next video. Until then, keep on jamming, and see you later.